Coming up right now on SUTV News, the world mourns the loss of an inspirational figure.
And it gets earlier and earlier. See how Black Friday is affecting Thanksgiving.
It's all right now. Hello, and thanks for joining us on SUTV News. I'm Missy Harrington.
And I'm Priscilla and
We have breaking news tonight. Former South African President Nelson Mandela has passed away. Mandela was known for his moral compass when he led the South African nation through racial segregation as president from 1994 to 1999. Mandela was in and out of the hospital over the summer for a reoccurring lung infection. He was 95. On November 21st, the U.S. Senate made a change to the filibuster rule, calling this nuclear option. No longer does the Senate need a 60-vote majority to close a debate on a topic. Now they only need 51, a simple majority.
Basically, the ability of members of the Senate, any member of the Senate, to delay indefinitely the debate on a bill.
This change to the rule under the direction of Democrat Harry Reid has been called the nuclear option because of the lack of compromise that has and is taking place in the Senate.
Bad it is in terms of being able to negotiate and for the polar sides, the two parties, to be able to get together on something. That's sort of the most disappointing thing from it.
Will this change actually help the Senate become more productive?
The majority party can force issues, at least on these issues, which were sometimes used as leverage points. The fact that they did this in the first place makes the minority party angry, of course. And so I would expect to see a much higher escalation of conflict in the Senate, certainly over the next couple of years.
We can't say yet what the effects of this change will be. We only know that the minority's power in the Senate has decreased. However, hopefully the Senate will start working together to make progress. Andrew M. Paris, a 2002 graduate of SHIP, and local business leader William A. Gindelsberger joined the university's Council of Trustees for a 6-year term. Paris earned a Bachelor of Science degree in Public Administration. He specializes in statewide policy matters. Gindelsberger is a chair of E-Lennox Corporation, which he established in 1975.
Off-campus jobs seem less flexible for students and can cut into family time. One student cut her holiday short to make some extra cash on Thanksgiving night.
Well, my boss asked me if I could work on Black Friday, and she actually offered to pay double on Thanksgiving, so I decided it was a little more important to earn the money for a college student than it was to be like at home when I could eat earlier and still spend time with my family.
Since most cell phone users are now using smartphones, the Salvation Army Kettle Drive is stepping up their game.
This holiday season, there's a smarter way to donate to a great cause. The Salvation Army now has 2 QR codes to scan donations on smartphones. One code is for a $5 donation and the other is for a $10 donation.
I will be the older and younger generations will be using it. Once it catches on, I mean, everybody will probably start using it, you know?
The Salvation Army Kettle Drive helps those in need in the community, like Michael Hoban.
They're good people. They've helped me out, you know, and I don't mind one bit. I don't mind standing out here.
I'm Priscilla Lucchese, SUTV News.
You can download the QR Code Reader app through the App Store on your smartphone. Coming up on SUTV News, see how one SHIP professor is using the sun to his benefit.
It's coming up next.
All the hustle and bustle of everyday life, it may be hard to think about other forms of energy, but one Shippensburg teacher has it all figured out. Bo Wilson has more.
Urban home until we take a closer look.
So here in the foreground, I like to refer to this as our solar-powered clothes dryer, otherwise known as a clothesline.
Plus, a solar hot water system and 20 solar panels on the roof. But this equipment isn't here to just look cool.
Environmentally, it makes a ton of sense as well because, you know, once those things are up on the roof, they're not generating any pollution the way a coal-fired or gas-fired or even a nuclear plant.
He also stresses the simple things you can do to help the environment.
Buying fuel-efficient or energy-efficient appliances, buying fuel-efficient cars, turning your thermostat down in the winter, turning it up in the summertime, unplugging things when they're not in. I mean, all that stuff will collectively reduce your overall energy consumption.
His system even saves money on his electric bill.
So I basically pay probably about $12 a month in my electric bill, and of that $12, about $8 of it is just for being connected to the power grid.
Dr. Hawkins says he would like to get 3 more panels to produce 100% of his electricity and eventually invest in an electric car. From SUTV News, I'm Bo Wilson.
Right now, Dr. Hawkins is able to produce about 80% of his energy using solar power. Pennsylvania hunters are taking their shots at deer these next 2 weeks. As Lance Kopp reports, a bill on the books in the legislature aims to ensure all hunters will actually get a chance to take aim.
And a new bill introduced by Senator Richard Alloway will make these furry guys' lives a little more difficult. All right, maybe not this guy. Senate Bill 1086 increases Pennsylvania's maximum carrying capacity for white-tailed deer, making many local hunters very happy knowing the deer will have time to grow.
The harvest of more mature deer, healthier deer, bigger deer just in general, and the population, I mean, usually populations can handle themselves. Deer hunters do, in a way, affect some, but it doesn't affect them to the point where they won't be able to handle it.
For some outdoorsmen, hunting is more than just a sport, it's a mean for survival. And this bill will help hunters through these tough economic times.
$7 for a doe tag. I mean, you can't get 50 pounds of meat at a grocery store for $7, so it just the saving money part of it is enough to make it worth it.
So if Senate passes Bill 1086, these guys will need to start running. For SUTV News, I'm Lance Kopp.
A new version of the bill was introduced to the legislature in August. The Advent calendar has been a Christian tradition dating back to the beginning of the 19th century. This calendar is dedicated to counting down the 25 days until Christmas. Since the first day of December, families across the world have started their countdown. Originally, the Advent calendar was used as a religious practice in Catholic churches and ministries. Over time, families have passed on this Christmas tradition to make it their own.
Is something we measure in how many shopping days there are until. And the Advent calendar started as a recalling of all the time in darkness that people waited for the coming of the light.
The Christmas season is all about starting new traditions. It's important to remember why we practice Advent and ways we can pass down these traditions for years to come. Shippensburg chapter of American Marketing Association earned first place at the regional conference on November 16th. Teams were asked to create a 10-minute presentation about a startup company which connects students to employers through real-world challenges. This chapter strives to create meaningful, engaging, and rewarding opportunities for students involved.
If you like Christmas music, then you won't want to miss an evening of musical delights. Tomorrow and Saturday, the Shippensburg University Madrigal Singers perform their annual Christmas dinner concert in Old Main Chapel. Dr. Blaine Shover and his dedicated cast of musical students headline the event.
Great way to get people in the Christmas spirit. A lot of people, in fact, plan on this event to start their holiday season. And it's just a really fun, warm kind of event to have, to prepare for, even though it takes a lot of work, of course.
Tickets are $30 per person and dinner is included. The event starts at 6:30.
Don't go away, still to come on SUTV News, the colder weather is returning and so is Britney Spears.
Weather and entertainment are on the way.
We've had a nice break from the cold air over the past 2 days, but I hate to say it's on its way out. With that being said, the winter weather is back in full swing this week. Tonight, the rain will persist throughout the evening with our temperature high of 44 degrees. Tomorrow, you can expect a washout as well. High chance of rain throughout the day, stopping and starting every few hours. Your high for the day staying around 45 degrees and getting much cooler at night. So, if you are out on the roads Friday, be extra cautious as the rain will turn to snow and ice around 1 a.m. As we bring up our 5-day, we can take a look ahead at the weekend. Saturday, a break from the moisture, but still a chilly day. You can expect partly sunny skies with a high of 36. And again, as the evening rolls around, you can also expect to see some snow flurries. For Sunday, we're calling for snowfall before noon, turning into freezing rain and sleet as the day progresses. Your temperature high for Sunday sticking around 36 degrees. Monday and Tuesday follow a similar pattern. You can expect rainfall again on Monday throughout the day with a high of 42 degrees. And Tuesday, a chance of snow but partly sunny skies and a high near 31. As if finals week isn't dreary enough, you can predict that the weather will have most SHIP students staying in to study over the next few days. I hope I didn't put too much of a damper on your weekend, so let's hand it over to Bo Wilson with what to look forward to in entertainment.
Thanks, Holly. Welcome to another week of entertainment. It's the first week of a new month, so you know what that means. We've got all your new music, movies, and games. Let's start it up with Britney Spears' new CD, Britney Jean, not Billie Jean. It's Britney Spears' 8th album, and it features other big artists like T.I. and will.i.am. Now, this next CD just shot up to number 4 in the top albums list on iTunes. It's country music star Jake Owen with Days of Gold. It's a mix of his slice of life kind of songs along with his fun-loving party songs. Part 2 of The Hobbit will be in theaters the last day of finals on December 13th. We rejoin Bilbo Baggins and his pack on their way to reclaim the dwarf's kingdom of Erebor from the dragon. This next movie is also a sequel, and as reporters, it demonstrates who we all aspire to be. It's Ron Burgundy, played by Will Ferrell, in Anchorman 2, The Legend. That will be in theaters December 20th. It's the holiday season, and we don't want you wasting money on subpar video games. Here's your game review so you know which ones to buy. Nick Collop will take you through Legend of Zelda's A Link Between Worlds for Nintendo DS.
The world saw the release of the latest installment of the Legend of Zelda franchise, A Link Between Worlds. A Link Between Worlds is a sequel to the groundbreaking 1991 Super Nintendo launch title A Link to the Past. And while the overworld is nearly identical to that of A Link to the Past, A Link Between Worlds brings a lot of new elements to the table. The story takes place multiple generations after the events of A Link to the Past, and follows the journey of a lazy blacksmith apprentice named Link. While on an errand to deliver a sword, Link comes across a man named Yuga. Yuga is from a land called Lorule, a kingdom in a parallel universe to that of Link's homeland Hyrule. Yuga kidnaps 7 sages and Princess Zelda from Hyrule, turns them into paintings, and sacrifices them to resurrect the Demon King Ganon. It's up to Link to rescue all 7 sages and add their power to his so that he can defeat Ganon and save Zelda. All of this is fairly standard for a Zelda title, but there are 2 core gameplay mechanics that breathe new life into the experience. Link's ability to turn into a painting at will and being able to conquer dungeons in whichever order you want. Along his travels, Link runs into a purple-hooded merchant named Ravio, who gives him an old bracelet in return for Link letting him stay at his house. This bracelet allows Link to turn into a painting and move along walls, and is also his means of traveling between Hyrule and Lorule. This game mechanic adds a lot more depth and twist to dungeon designs. Traditionally in Zelda titles, you would enter a dungeon the game coaxes you into, find a new item about a third of the way in, use that item to conquer the dungeon, and repeat that process in the order the game predetermines. But thanks to the shop Ravio sets up in Link's house, it's possible to rent or buy items at any point and tackle the dungeons in whichever order you choose. The catch is that buying items is incredibly expensive, and if you only rent them, it's much cheaper, but you lose them if you fall in battle. That gives the player incentive to try harder to survive and to explore the nooks and crannies of Hyrule and Lorule for health boosting items and money. So far, reviews of this game have been extremely positive for the most part, and my opinion is no different. If you're a fan of top-down quest games or Zelda games in general, I would highly recommend this title.
Thanks, Nick. You can get A Link Between Worlds at GameStop and online at GameStop.com. Newts is hosting 2 live bands tomorrow night starting at 10, the Wally Drags and the Big 3 Project. It will be the Big 3 Project's first live show there. They've been practicing for weeks and can't wait to show their stuff for friends who come to support.
He's a member of the Wally Drags. He has played there before with one of his other bands, and he got a hold of them, and we thought it'd be fun. You know, we're all friends to do like a joint show, so this is going to be the Wally Drags opening up for the Big 3 Project.
It's free to get in, even for those under 21. Greek Life is hosting its 2nd annual Pajama Jam tomorrow night in the Cub NPR. Dress up in your PJs and head out to the party where DJ Vinny Smiles will be spinning from 10 to 2. It's only $5. It's only $5 to get in, so come chill out in comfy clothes and enjoy some good food and a good time. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but Act 5 is putting on 2 plays this weekend. Emily Larson is here now with a representative from Act 5 to tell us a little more about the shows. Emily?
I'm sitting here with Ken Ottaway, who is in charge of public relations for Act 5 Shippensburg's theater group. How are you doing tonight, Ken?
Doing pretty well.
Are you? Good. Well, so tell me about the 2 shows that Act 5 has going on this weekend.
Act 5 is putting on 2 productions this weekend. One of Noises Off, which was written by Michael Frayn, and one of Picasso at the Lapin Agile, which was written by Steve Martin.
Ooh.
Yeah. Noises Off, it's kind of like the movie Inception, but without Leonardo DiCaprio. And by that I mean it's a play about a theater production company that's putting on a play.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is
So, and it's, hilarity ensues.
Mhm.
They're both comedies. And Picasso, well, it takes place in a French bar in 1904, and Picasso and Einstein walk into a bar. So,
Well,
yeah.
that's definitely going to have to go see that one. So where are the shows taking place?
The shows will be taking place in Memorial Auditorium here on campus.
Oh, good. That's nice and close. And when are they taking place and what times?
Noises Off is actually tonight, opening night at 8 p.m. And then there'll also be a showing on Saturday at 2 p.m., Sunday at 6 p.m. Picasso opens tomorrow night at 8 p.m. and it will also be showing Saturday night at 8 p.m. and Sunday at 1 p.m.
Okay, so you're going to be heading there right after this.
Yeah, actually I'm going to be bolting out of here because I'm running ticket sales.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so how can people get tickets?
Tickets will be sold at the door, so you walk in. It's $3 with an SUID, and it's $5 for general admission.
Okay, great. So everybody out there is definitely going to want to go to see Picasso tomorrow night too, and you can see my beautiful face. And so make sure you get out to support Act 5 this weekend and see these 2 great shows. We've posted the event pages on our Facebook page, so you can check out the details. So thank you again. It was great having you here.
Thanks, it was great to be here.
Good. And so that's it for entertainment this week, everybody. Make sure to keep up with us online at SUTV.com and click on the entertainment tab. I'm Emily Larson. Back to you ladies at the desk.
Coming up on SUTV News, field hockey makes school history and basketball looks to underclassmen sports is next.
But first, an SUTV mom shares one of entertainment reporters Chandler Harris's favorite holiday treats.
So we're going to let you know this is one of my go-to desserts for the holiday season. Really easy because it lets you cheat and you can use store-bought cake mix. Don't tell anybody. Here are the ingredients you need first. You need 1 package of 18 1/4 ounce of yellow cake mix, and I cheat even more and I get the cake mix with the pudding in the mix. Also, you'll need 1 cup of sour cream, a 1/2 cup of each vegetable oil and water. You will need 4 eggs, 1 tablespoon of pure vanilla extract, and you will also need a cup of mini chocolate chips. And also you will need a bundt pan like this. You want to first take your cake mix, pour that in your mixing bowl. The next step, number 2, is you're going to take your sour cream and you're going to put that in with your cake mix. Scrape that all off, make sure it's level, and put that inside. Step 3, you will add your 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. That also goes into the bowl. Step 4 will be your 1/2 cup of water. That will also go into the mixing bowl. And step 5 will be, you will crack 4 eggs and put inside the mixing bowl. I'm going to get in this thing. And for the last step of the cake mixing, you will take your mini chocolate chips and you will fold those in gently. You won't mix those, you'll fold those in gently into the mix. We're now going to prepare the batter for the pan. And we're going to use the non-stick baking spray to coat our bun. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And we'll hit start. Using your spatula, we'll pour it in our prepared pan, scraping down the sides, making sure we're getting all the batter.
Miss Carmen already put all the ingredients in and mixed the batter. And when we come back, Miss Carmen's gonna bake the cake for you guys. Stay tuned. Now we're gonna start to bake the cake.
We're now going to put the cake in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 50 minutes.
Now the cake is out of the oven and it's baked for 50 minutes. We let it cool for 10 minutes. It's time to glaze it. And to prepare the vanilla butter glaze, you will need the following ingredients. You will need butter, confectioner's sugar, and your vanilla extract. Now it's time to pour the glaze on our chocolate chip pound cake. Make it nice and rich. Do a couple little designs on there. There you have it. Vanilla rich chocolate chip pound cake. Voila! Hey guys, the cake's ready.
Looks good, Miss Carmen, looks good. Well, thanks for staying with us. Hopefully you guys learn how to cook something here over the holidays. I'm here with my family, and we're about to dig in on this cake right here. And from my family to yours, happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
TV News, Kyle Toomey has info on Raider Athletics.
Kyle, what do you have for us today?
Well, we got field hockey, we got football players winning more awards, and basketball and volleyball. So let's head on over.
Sounds good.
Field hockey recently achieved something for the first time since 1979. This season, the Raiders won the national championship. Chris Eckstein has more.
Season on top. They suffered only a single, frustrating loss that came in the PSAC championship. But the team was quick to rise to its feet. The Raiders looked to their leaders like Bree White, who is now a two-time Player of the Year. She saw the loss in a positive light.
That loss was perfect for us. We really actually needed that loss because going the whole season undefeated in the regular season, you know, you don't really know what you need to fix until you lose. And I think that was just, it was like perfect timing for us.
Bree and her teammates then strode into the national championship, where she scored the winning goal.
Oh, it was amazing. It was just, it's the best feeling. And to be able to do that my senior year off the shot that I scored was just awesome.
Coach Bertie Landis now hopes the team can continue its winning ways next season.
I have kids that are willing to work hard, and if they put the work in the spring and come in shape in the fall, anything can happen. I'm confident that they could do it.
But for now, the 2013 team is still in celebration mode. David C. Field is now closed for the year, but the only thing that will stay under lock and key is the trophy.
It's there forever to be remembered, and that's what's nice about it.
Chris Eckstein, SUTV Sports.
The team has also remained successful off the field. Seniors Bree White and Megan Jett were both named first-team All-Americans, and junior Lucy Kaufman received an Elite 89 award for her academic excellence. The Raiders are done slinging the pigskin for the year, but they've been racking up awards since the season's end. Senior Jake Metz received a special honor in being named Super Region 1 Defensive Player of the Year. His career 30.5 sacks are a ship record. Junior Trevor Harmon also received Super Region 1 First Team honors, and senior Zach Zulli was named to the second team. Experience matters. One ship team would say otherwise. Hayden Kephart has the story.
The women's basketball team is very young, consisting mostly of underclassmen. That hasn't stopped them considering they are off to a 5-1 start.
I expect us to go pretty far this year. Obviously, we have a lot of shoes to fill with a lot of seniors graduating and us being a young team, but I think we'll be able to make it into the NCAA tournament.
Coach T also feels confident.
It's always new to have a group coming in and have their goals of what they'd like to accomplish throughout their careers. So this year we were just focusing on being patient every single day, seeing how quickly we could grow into our roles and our positions. And our number one goal is to be competitive every single night we go out on the floor.
The women have had great success early, and with these young players, they will continue to be competitive. For SUTV Sports, I'm Hayden Kephart.
The Raiders take on Bloomsburg this Saturday from Haggis Fieldhouse. Tip-off is at 1. Volleyball started its pursuit of a national championship this evening. The Raiders are seeded 4th in the Atlantic region of the NCAA tournament. They defeated Pitt Johnstown in 3 straight sets to advance to the next round. This is SHIP's first NCAA victory. Well, from all of us here at SUTV, we congratulate all athletic teams on their achievements and wish the remaining sports teams the best of luck. Now, back to you ladies at the desk.
Well, that's it for SUTV News. I'm Priscilla Lucchese.
And I'm Missy Harrington.
SUTV has gone social. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Vine, and Instagram.
Stay tuned as students from a local high school take part in another edition of Camera Combat.
Thanks for watching and have a great night.